Marcus was a 17-year-old boy living in a busy city. He lived with his mother and younger sister in a small apartment on the third floor of an old building. Their neighborhood was not an easy place to live. Many people were struggling to make ends meet. Sometimes the streets were noisy, and at other times quiet but cold. Marcus knew that life was not always fair, but he tried to stay hopeful. Every morning, Marcus woke up early. The sky was often gray, and the cold wind blew. Through the narrow streets, he would get ready quickly and help his sister get dressed for school. His mother was already gone, working her first job of the day. She worked very hard, cleaning houses and offices to earn money. Marcus loved his mother very much and admired her strength, but he knew that money was very tight. School was not easy for Marcus either. The classrooms were crowded and the books were old. Sometimes the teachers seemed too busy to give extra help. Marcus wanted to learn and do well, but he often felt tired and distracted. At home, there was little quiet time to study because the apartment was small and full of noise. His sister needed attention, and his mother was always tired after long hours of work. To help his family, Marcus worked after school at a local convenience store. The job was not exciting, but it was important. He stocked shelves, cleaned the floors, and sometimes helped customers. The manager was kind and gave him a small paycheck each week. It was not much, but every dollar counted. Marcus used some of his money to buy food for his family and saved the rest to buy school supplies. Even though life was hard, Marcus had dreams. He wanted to finish school and go to college one day. He dreamed of a job where he could help others and live in a nice home. Sometimes when he looked out of the window at the tall buildings and bright lights of the city center, he imagined a different life for himself. But for now, he focused on the small steps he could take each day. One cold winter morning, Marcus woke up to find frost on the windows. The heating in their apartment was old and not working well. He pulled his thin blanket tighter around him and got up. He quickly dressed in warm clothes, but knew the cold would follow him outside. The walk to school was long and uncomfortable, especially when the wind cut through his jacket. At school, Marcus tried to concentrate, but his mind was often elsewhere. He worried about his family, about money, and about the future. Still, he listened carefully to his teachers and took notes. Sometimes he helped other students who found the lessons difficult. He was a good friend and tried to stay positive. Even when things felt tough, after school, Marcus changed into his work clothes and headed to the store. The streets were darker now, and the cold had grown stronger. His breath made small clouds in the air as he walked quickly. When he arrived at the store, the warm lights and friendly faces made him feel better. The customers were regular people from the neighborhood, some kind and some quiet. Working at the store was not easy. Marcus had to stay on his feet for many hours, helping customers find what they needed and making sure everything was clean. Sometimes he felt tired and wished he could be somewhere else. But he remembered why he was working. His family needed the money, and he wanted to help. One day, while stocking shelves, Marcus heard a conversation between two customers. They were talking about a local college and the chances of getting a scholarship. Marcus felt a spark of hope. Maybe if he worked harder at school, he could get a chance like that too. He decided to focus more on his studies and to ask his teachers for help when he needed it. Evenings at home were quiet and sometimes lonely. His mother was still working her second job, and his sister was often asleep early. Marcus used the little time he had to read his textbooks by the dim light of a small lamp. Sometimes the electricity would go out, and he would have to wait until it came back. Those moments were hard, but Marcus never gave up. He often thought about his future. He wanted to prove to himself and to his family that they could have a better life. He knew that many people around him faced challenges, but he believed in kindness and hard work. Marcus wanted to be someone who could make a difference not just for himself, but for others too. On weekends, Marcus helped his mother with chores around the apartment. They cleaned, cooked simple meals, and sometimes shared stories about their day. Even though the money was tight, they found small ways to enjoy life. A walk in the park, a shared meal, or a laugh together was enough to bring joy. Marcus also liked to spend time outside when he could. The city had busy streets, but there were quiet places. 2 small parks and benches where people sometimes rested. Marcus liked to sit quietly and think about his dreams. Sometimes he wrote in a notebook, drawing pictures or writing stories. About the future he hoped to have. Life was not always easy for Marcus, but he faced each day with courage. He knew that challenges would come and go, but his spirit was strong. He believed that good things could happen if he stayed kind and worked hard. Little did he know that a chance encounter on a cold night would soon change everything for him. One cold winter evening, Marcus finished his shift at the convenience store later than usual. The sun had already set, and the streets were quiet except for the sound of distant cars and the wind blowing between the buildings. The cold air bit at his cheeks and hands, even though he wore a jacket and gloves. He pulled his jacket tighter and started walking toward his small apartment. As he walked down the cracked sidewalks, Marcus's mind was full of thoughts about school, work, and his family. The day had been long, and his feet were tired. Streetlights flickered above, casting weak circles of light on the pavement. It was the kind of night that made people hurry inside, wishing they were somewhere warm. Suddenly, near a small park bench under a bare tree, Marcus noticed something moving. At first, he thought it was a stray dog or a homeless person sleeping, but as he came closer, he saw an old man sitting there. The man was wearing a thin coat that looked too small and torn in some places. His face was pale and his hands were shaking as he held them close to his chest. Marcus stopped. The old man looked cold and tired. His eyes met Marcus's, and there was a sadness in them that made Marcus feel something deep inside. Even though Marcus was tired and cold himself, he felt a strong pull to help. "Are you okay, sir?" Marcus asked softly. The old man looked surprised but nodded slowly. "It's just this cold. I didn't think I'd last much longer out here." Marcus looked around. The park was empty and quiet. The cold night was not safe for anyone, especially an old man alone. Marcus knew he couldn't just walk away. He took off his jacket carefully. "Here, take this," he said, wrapping the jacket around the man's shoulders. The old man smiled faintly, his teeth showing a little. "Thank you, young man. You're very kind." Marcus sat down next to him on the bench. He pulled out the small sandwich he had saved from his lunch break, wrapped in wax paper. "Here, have this. I didn't eat it all." The old man accepted the sandwich with trembling hands and took small bites. Marcus watched him eat, feeling a warmth inside, even though the night was freezing. They talked quietly, the old man telling stories about his life before hardship had taken over. He spoke about his family, a time when he had a home and friends. Marcus listened carefully. He learned that the man's name was Mr. Thompson. Once, Mr. Thompson had been a successful businessman. But after losing his savings and home, he found himself alone on the streets. He did not want to bother anyone, so he kept to himself. Marcus thought about how life could change so quickly. He felt lucky for what he had, even if it was not much. They sat there together for a while, sharing stories and warmth. The cold was still sharp, and Marcus knew he could not stay out all night. He stood up slowly. "I have to go home, but I'll check on you tomorrow," he promised. Mr. Thompson nodded, grateful for the company and care. "You have a good heart, Marcus. Don't forget that." Marcus smiled, feeling proud and hopeful. He wrapped his jacket around himself and started walking home, the weight of the cold feeling lighter now. The next day at school, Marcus could not stop thinking about the old man. He wanted to help more, but did not know how. At work, he asked the manager if there were any ways to get food or clothes for people in need. The manager told him about a local shelter and some charities that helped homeless people during winter. Marcus decided to visit the shelter. After school, it was a small building with warm lights and people who smiled when they saw him. The volunteers helped Marcus find blankets, warm clothes, and food packages. They told him that Mr. Thompson might come there if he knew about it. Marcus felt happy, knowing there were places that could help. He packed a small bag with food, a warm scarf, and a note with the shelter's address. After his shift at the store, he walked to the park bench again, hoping to find Mr. Thompson. When he arrived, the bench was empty. Marcus looked around the park, but saw no sign of the old man. He left the bag and the note where Mr. Thompson had been sitting. "I hope you find this," Marcus whispered. Days went by, and Marcus kept his routine of school, work, and helping his family. He often looked at the park bench from a distance, hoping to see Mr. Thompson again. Sometimes he worried if the old man was safe and warm. One afternoon, Marcus was surprised when a neighbor told him she had seen a man asking about him nearby. Marcus's heart raced. Could it be Mr. Thompson? Later that day, Marcus saw a well-dressed older man walking slowly toward his apartment. His clothes were clean, and he carried a small briefcase. Marcus felt confused but curious. The man stopped at his door and smiled kindly. "Marcus, I'm Mr. Thompson," the man said gently. "I want to thank you for your kindness that cold night." Marcus opened the door wider and invited him in. He was amazed at the change in the man's appearance. Mr. Thompson explained that after their meeting, he went to the shelter Marcus had told him about. The people there helped him find a place to stay and start rebuilding his life. Mr. Thompson shared how much Marcus's small act of kindness had meant to him. It reminded him that there is still goodness in the world, even during hard times. He said he wanted to help Marcus and his family because they deserved a chance at a better life. Marcus was speechless, but grateful. He had never expected anything like this. For the first time, he felt that the future might hold hope and opportunity. The two talked for a long time, sharing stories and plans. Marcus learned that Mr. Thompson had connections and resources that could help him with school, work, and family. Support, it was more than Marcus had ever dreamed of. That night, Marcus went to bed feeling warm inside, not just from the heater, but from hope and kindness. He knew that one small act could make a big difference, not just for one person, but for many. After that surprising visit, Marcus couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Thompson. The old man's story stayed with him, how someone who had lost everything could find hope again because of a simple act of kindness. Marcus felt a new kind of excitement and curiosity about what the future might hold. In the days that followed, Mr. Thompson made a few visits to Marcus's home. Each time, he came with a warm smile and a kind word. He brought gifts, 2 new school supplies for Marcus, warm clothes for his sister, and groceries for the family. It was more help than Marcus's family had ever seen. The small apartment began to feel a little less tight and cold as hope filled the rooms. Marcus was surprised by how much Mr. Thompson wanted to help. The old man told Marcus that he had been working hard to get his life back on track. With the help of the shelter and his own determination, he found a new small job and was saving money again. But more than that, he wanted to give back to the young man who showed him kindness when he needed it most. Word started to spread around the neighborhood about Marcus and the mysterious visitor helping him. Some neighbors were curious, while others were happy for Marcus. At school, some classmates noticed the changes too. Marcus seemed more confident and focused. His teachers even complimented him on his improved work and attitude. Despite the changes, Marcus stayed humble and grounded. He did not want to forget where he came from or the struggles his family faced. He still worked hard at the convenience store and studied late into the night. But now, he also had someone to turn to for advice and support. One afternoon, Mr. Thompson invited Marcus to visit his small office nearby. It was a simple space, but it had a feeling of success and hope. Mr. Thompson showed Marcus a few books and papers, explaining that he had some ideas to help Marcus get a better education and possibly a scholarship. Marcus listened carefully, feeling both nervous and excited. Mr. Thompson explained that education was very important. Sometimes all it took was a chance, someone believing in you and offering support. He promised to help Marcus prepare for school applications and to connect him with people who could mentor him. For the first time, Marcus felt like he was not alone in his journey, but not everything was easy. Marcus still had to deal with challenges every day. Some people in the neighborhood didn't understand why Mr. Thompson was helping him. They whispered and wondered if Marcus had changed or forgotten his friends. At school, some students made jokes or tried to bring him down. Marcus felt the pressure, but reminded himself why he worked so hard to make a better life for his family and himself at home. His mother was cautious but hopeful. She watched Marcus closely and saw how his spirits were lifting. She wanted to believe that things would get better, but years of struggle made her careful not to expect too much. Marcus tried to show her the gifts and letters from Mr. Thompson, hoping to share the good news. One evening, Marcus sat with his mother and sister around their small dinner table. He told them about Mr. Thompson's visits and the plans for his education. His mother smiled softly and said, "This could be the start of something good for all of us." Marcus felt a deep sense of responsibility. He knew that this opportunity was not just for him, it was for his family and for the neighborhood that raised him. He wanted to prove that kindness and hard work could change lives. Meanwhile, Mr. Thompson continued to help quietly behind the mask. Scenes he talked to local community leaders and school officials, sharing Marcus's story and asking for support. Some people were moved by the story of a struggling teen helping an old man in need. They began to offer scholarships, tutoring, and even part-time job opportunities for Marcus. Marcus's schoolwork improved. But he also learned about the importance of balance. He had to manage his time carefully between classes, work, and family responsibilities. It was not always easy, but with Mr. Thompson's guidance, Marcus developed a plan, set goals, and tracked his progress, feeling proud with each small step forward. One day, Mr. Thompson surprised Marcus with an invitation to a community event. It was a gathering of local business owners and leaders held in a nearby hall. Marcus was nervous at first. He had never been to such a place before, but Mr. Thompson encouraged him to go and meet people who could help him. At the event, Marcus met many kind and supportive people. Some shared stories about their own struggles and how they overcame them. Others offered advice about education, work, and life. Marcus felt inspired by the stories and the kindness around him. He realized that he was part of a larger community, and that people cared. Over the weeks and months, Marcus grew stronger and more confident. He worked hard at school and his job, but he also learned to ask for help when he needed it. Mr. Thompson became more than a helper. He became a mentor and friend. Marcus's life was changing, but he never forgot the cold night when he found Mr. Thompson on the park bench. That night was the beginning of a new journey for both of them. It showed Marcus that small acts of kindness could create big changes. It also reminded Mr. Thompson that even after hard times, there is always hope. As Marcus looked ahead, he dreamed of finishing school and going to college. He wanted to give back to his family and his community. He wanted to be the kind of person who helps others, just like he was helped. The story of Marcus and Mr. Thompson was becoming a quiet inspiration in their neighborhood. It showed that no matter where you start, kindness and determination can open doors. And sometimes the people who need help the most are the ones who give the greatest gifts. One afternoon, Marcus was sitting at the small kitchen table in his apartment, working on his homework. The sun was low in the sky, sending soft orange light through the thin curtains. Outside, the sounds of the city were quieter than usual. Marcus felt tired from the long day, but was determined to finish his assignments. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Marcus looked up, wondering who it could be at this hour. When he opened the door, he saw Mr. Thompson standing there. This time, the old man was dressed in a neat suit and had a warm, confident smile. "Hello, Marcus," Mr. Thompson said kindly. "I hope I'm not interrupting." Marcus smiled back, surprised but happy to see him. "Not at all. Please come." And they sat down together at the table. Mr. Thompson looked around the small apartment, noticing the books piled neatly on the corner and the simple but clean furniture. He could see the hard work Marcus and his family had put into their home. "Despite the challenges, I wanted to talk to you about something important," Mr. Thompson began. "You showed me great kindness on that cold night, and I have never forgotten it. It made me realize how much we need to help each other." Marcus listened carefully, feeling a mix of curiosity and hope. "I want to help you and your family," Mr. Thompson continued. "I have some resources and connections that could make a difference in your life. I want to offer you a scholarship to help you finish school and even some support for your family's needs." Marcus's eyes widened. He had never imagined something like this could happen. "Thank you, sir. I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything now," Mr. Thompson said gently. "I will help you every step of the way." Over the next few weeks, Mr. Thompson kept his promise. He worked with the local school to arrange a scholarship for Marcus. This meant that Marcus no longer had to worry about paying for school fees or supplies. The The scholarship also included access to tutoring and extra classes to help him improve in subjects he found difficult. Mr. Thompson also helped Marcus find a better part-time job. This new job paid more and was in a quieter, safer place. Marcus was able to save more money and still have time to focus on his studies. The change was like a breath of fresh air. At home, Marcus's family felt the difference too. With the extra support, his mother was able to reduce her work hours. She smiled more and had time to rest. Sister could attend a better school nearby. The small apartment felt warmer and filled with hope. Marcus's confidence grew as well. He started participating more in class and made new friends. Some teachers noticed his hard work and dedication and encouraged him to think about college. For the first time, Marcus began to believe that college could be possible. One day, Mr. Thompson invited Marcus and his family to a small dinner at his new apartment. The place was cozy and welcoming, filled with plants and photographs of family. Marcus's mother was a little nervous at first, but soon felt comfortable talking with Mr. Thompson. During dinner, Mr. Thompson shared stories about his own life, the good times and the hard times. He told them how losing everything had been painful, but how kindness from others had helped him get back on his feet. Marcus's mother and sister listened with respect and gratitude. That night when Marcus helped me, Mr. Thompson said, looking at Marcus, it reminded me that we all need each other. No matter where we come from, kindness can change lives. After dinner, Marcus and Mr. Thompson sat in the living room, talking quietly. Mr. Thompson gave Marcus a small notebook. "This is for you to write your goals and dreams," he said. "Remember, every big step starts with a small goal." Marcus opened the notebook and smiled. For the first time, he felt truly seen and supported. As the weeks passed, Marcus continued to work hard. He studied late into the night, practiced for school tests, and kept his job. When he felt overwhelmed, Mr. Thompson was there to encourage him. They talked about future plans, college applications, scholarships, and even possible careers. One day, Marcus received a letter from a local college. It was an acceptance letter with a scholarship offer. His heart raced as he read the words. Again and again, he had made it. All the hard work and hope were paying off. Marcus ran home to share the news with his family. They hugged and cried tears of joy. It was a moment they would never forget. But Marcus knew this was just the beginning. He wanted to do more, not just for himself, but for others in his neighborhood. He dreamed of creating programs to help kids like him get better education and support. Mr. Thompson smiled when Marcus shared his dreams. "You have a bright future, Marcus. When you succeed, you will inspire others to succeed too." The story of Marcus's journey became a quiet inspiration in their community. It showed that kindness and support can change lives in powerful ways. And it reminded everyone that no matter how hard life gets, hope and hard work can open new doors. Marcus often thought back to that cold night when he found Mr. Thompson on the park bench. That moment had set everything in motion. What a reminder that a small act of kindness can grow into something much bigger, a chance for a new beginning and a better future. Marcus woke up that morning feeling a little different. The sunlight was soft and warm as it shone through the window, and there was a quiet excitement in the air. He sat up slowly, thinking about everything that had happened over the last few months. His life had changed so much since that cold night when he had helped Mr. Thompson on the park bench. He got ready quickly. Putting on the clothes Mr. Thompson had given him, the jacket was warm and fit well. As he looked in the mirror, Marcus felt more confident than ever before. He was no longer just a struggling teen from a tough neighborhood. He was someone with hope and a future. At school, Marcus walked with his head held high. His classmates noticed the change in him. Some smiled and said hello, while others asked questions about the scholarship and his new job. Marcus answered with kindness and patience, knowing that everyone had their own struggles. The teachers treated him differently too. They saw the hard work he was putting in and believed in his potential. Marcus took every opportunity to learn and grow. He stayed late after class for extra help. He joined a small group that prepared students for college. After school, Marcus headed to his part-time job. This job was better than the one he had before. The manager was understanding and flexible, allowing Marcus to balance work and school. Marcus worked hard, but he also made time to rest and spend time with his family. At home, things were happier. His mother no longer worked 2 jobs, and she had more time to cook meals and talk with Marcus and his sister. The small apartment felt warm and full of love. They laughed together, shared stories, and dreamed about the future. Marcus often thought about Mr. Thompson and the kindness he had shown. He knew that this support had made all the difference. Mr. Thompson became like a family member, a mentor and friend who believed in Marcus even when others doubted him. One day, Marcus visited Mr. Thompson at his apartment. The old man was sitting by the window, reading a book. When Marcus arrived, he smiled warmly. "I wanted to thank you," Marcus said, "for everything you've done for me and my family. You changed my life." Mr. Thompson shook his head gently. "No, Marcus, you changed my life too. Your kindness gave me hope when I needed it most." We helped each other. They talked about the future college plans, jobs, and ways to give back to their community. Marcus dreamed of starting a program to help kids like him, so they would never feel alone or hopeless. As the years passed, Marcus worked hard and achieved many goals. He finished high school with good grades and earned a scholarship to a local college. He studied business, inspired by Mr. Thompson's story, and wanted to help others succeed. Marcus never forgot where he came from. He stayed connected to his neighborhood and helped organize community events. He shared his story to inspire others, showing that small acts of kindness could lead to big changes. One cold winter night, Marcus returned to the same park bench where he had first met Mr. Thompson. The memories came flooding back, the cold air, the fear, the hope. He sat down quietly, feeling grateful. He looked at the sky, thinking about the journey he had traveled. It had not been easy, but it had been worth it. Marcus knew that life was full of challenges, but kindness, hope, and hard work could create miracles. As he stood up to leave, Marcus smiled. He was ready for whatever the future held, knowing he had the strength to face it. And he promised himself to always help others, just like he had been helped. The story of Marcus and Mr. Thompson was a powerful reminder to all who heard it that sometimes a small act of kindness on a cold night can change many lives forever.